Welcome to the Rhythmic Gymnastics webinar for the athletes. It's a great pleasure to be hosting this first time webinar for the athletes for the seniors and junior level. My name is Mrs. Noha Abu Shabana. I'm from Egypt, and I'm the Rhythmic Gymnastics Technical Committee President in the International Gymnastics Federation. I was a former gymnast and a current international judge as well. So being in those positions with my colleagues, we thought that we should come to you with the idea of the development of our sport, how fast it's growing in your time, and not speak about the code of points and about the risks or the balances or the jumps, because you all know this in training. Your coaches teach you very well. They give you a very good training every time, and they help you there in the gym. But to give you another perspective about the safeguarding of the athlete, how to help you and how to protect you, it's called Safe and Guard. And the best person to do this is the president of the Safeguarding Commission by Mrs. Donatella Sacchi. She's from Italy, and she's also my colleague in the International Gymnastics Federation, leading the artistic women artistic gymnastics. Then we have also habits about eating. And we all know that rhythmic gymnastics gymnasts must be healthy and beautiful on the carpet, but we also want to eat, and we also want to be healthy, and we also need carbs, and we also need to drink a lot of water. And I was with Dr. Peter in one webinar, and actually it was not a webinar, it was a class. I attended a seminar with him, and I learned many, many things from him. And I want you to learn the same things, so you can be happy and healthy and eat carbs and enjoy your life. And then we have with us our next speaker after this is Dora Haji. So Dora is a former athlete also from gymnastics, and then she joined the WADA. We all know about the doping and anti-doping and don't take this and don't take that and don't drink that and don't take from a stranger anything and don't do this. But who is the best person to tell you more than Dora, who's in the WADA, the anti-doping agency? So this webinar is very short information from each topic, but we wanted to give you more information about everything. And before introducing the speakers, I would like to thank the president of the FIG, President Watanabe, because he gave this opportunity to have this webinar for the athletes, and the Secretary General, of course, Nicholas Bompani, because he helped to organize all the FIG staff. And we have with us here my colleague who helped me to organize this webinar. So I will ask them to open their cameras so you get to know them. They will be in the competitions with you everywhere like me, so you can get to know them face to face. So we have Mrs. Marcia Aversani from Brazil. She can say to you hello.
Hello, everyone. My pleasure to be here with you, all gymnasts in the world.
Then we have Mrs. Maria Petrova from Bulgaria.
Really happy with this webinar and that we work and we can work together with you and you can know more about our sport and how to become better and better. And I wish you good luck with your future endeavors.
We have Mrs. Natalia Bulanova from Azerbaijan.
I am very happy to be here with you, and I wish you big luck in all your worlds.
We have with us Mrs. Alua Bakhturova from Kazakhstan.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wish you also a very good luck to everybody and enjoy the webinar because it's very important, all the subjects.
And we have our colleague from Germany, Mrs. Isabel Sawad. She had a connection problem. I'm not sure if she could join us or not yet. I don't think she's online yet. And we have Mrs. Gizel Mamonova, also from Uzbekistan. I'm not sure if she's online with us, but they are both having connection problems. Then we have Mrs. Yunus Lebre, the safeguarding officer. If you have any concerns, anything, you can always contact her directly. And we have Mrs. Sylvie Martinet, our lovely RG sports manager responsible for rhythmic gymnastics in the International Gymnastics Federation department. So I don't want to have a long speech, but I wish you all the best of luck. And whenever you want to learn about the code of points, you can always join the STS. I know that there was always a big request to give you a webinar about the code of points and how to be evaluated, but you can always learn about the code of points if you're interested from the STS platform, where we have all our presentations or the explanations, all elements on the STS platform. So now I leave the floor to my colleague and the good educator and teacher, Mrs. Donatella Sacchi, to give you about safeguarding.
Young people, like pure glass, retain the imprints of those who touch them. You, gymnasts, are the pure glass, and we must take care of your well-being because you are fragile and at the same time you are precious. To start, you need to know yourself. Ask yourself, why do you do sport? Now we go one by one to the sentence. So because you like it, or because someone you care about likes it, or because it's challenging, because it's beautiful, or because it's exciting. So now we go to the QR code. So you will take your phone, go to this QR code. In the meantime, you go, I will speak. So you need to choose one of the sentences you saw above. Why you do sport? There is one reason that is most important than the other, but for you. So you are different, of course, and there is not one reason better than the other. It's just to know yourself. Okay, I think almost everybody is there. Few seconds more. Let's see approximately in which percentages we are. Okay. Good. Coming more and more. So you see there are different reasons to practice the sport. So you start to understand what is related to you. So now you see, and you take your pen and a piece of paper, and you see this table. So all athletes are different. And as we saw, you have also different reasons to practice rhythmic gymnastics. So in the sport that you practice, there are different ingredients. So we try to investigate about ourselves. You need to discover which of these ingredients is more important for you. So to discover who you are and which kind of gymnast you are. Here in this enjoyment, passion, tenacity, beauty, risk, all the components will arrive to 100%, but there is one that is more important for each one of you. So you fill by yourself in your paper and relate it to the highest percentage that you have in one of these. There is a motto that is in the right side, and in this case, with this motto, you will discover which kind of gymnast you are. So the motto is your personal secret. And if the coach knows your, let's say, secret, they can take the best from you in the training process or in the competition. So using what is more important and what is touch you, they can take the best performances, help you to have the best performances. So if you decided for the beauty, when you work, you train, or you compete, you have to think, I'm a flower that blooms. So this is your specificity. You are unique on this side. Or I work with tenacity. So I insist, I can do it, I can do it. This is to discover which kind of gymnast you are. Think what the sport can do for you, what the sport offers you, what can do for the gymnast. So the sport can help the gymnast to discover the greatness that is inside, or can help me, gymnast, to change how to manage the stress, how to manage the difficulties, or can support my self-esteem. I can improve through the sport my self-esteem. So in the life of the girls mostly, but is mostly in the life of adolescents, we have the not enough syndrome. This is the enemy in our life, because can be different meaning of the not enough. There are different situations. You can see in the right side many sentences, but can be I don't have enough money to buy what I want. I'm not beauty enough. I don't have enough sex appeal. Or I don't make my parents enough happy. I'm good enough practicing my sport. So this is really our enemy. Then what the sport can offer you. And here we go again to the panda, because the sport, it can be an opportunity in your life to change, to be better. Because if you listen to Panda, he wanted to be different. He wanted to be not me. And he's trying to find some help. So the question you have to do to yourself, can the sport help you to discover your greatness? And now back to the panda.
Trust in mine. You're not my master. And I'm not the dragon warrior.
Then why didn't you quit? You knew I was trying to get rid of you, yet you stayed.
Yeah, I stayed. I stayed because every time you threw a brick at my head or said I smelled, it hurt. But it could never hurt more than it did every day of my life just being me. I stayed because I thought if anyone could change me, could make me not me, it was you. The greatest kung fu teacher in all of China.
But I can change you. I can turn you into the Dragon Warrior, and I will.
Come on. Tai Lung is on his way here right now. And even if it takes him 100 years to get here, how are you gonna change this into the Dragon Warrior? Huh? How? How?
How? I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so as you can see, Panda wanted strongly to change, but how? He needs help. So there are different ways to being able to change. One is denying your own limits. In this case, the greatness is based on result. This is a dangerous way because the limit should not be denied, should be accepted because are the base of your greatness. If you read this sentence, impossible is nothing, this comes from a famous campaign by Adidas using a motivational quote from a box champion, Muhammad Ali. This is a difficult and dangerous way to discover your greatness, because in the moment you fail, you don't have the results you expect, the potential problem is to go to a depression. There is another way to go to change, and is when the greatness is based on your superiority. So you think you are the best of everyone, and you think that everything is allowed you to do. So in this case, you just think, I'm me. Everything is justified, and the most unscrupulous, I think my English is good enough, must win. Is this the correct way? Can be always like this. This is a shortcut. If we can take an example of a person using this kind of, let's call, style, which is the style of narcissism, think to Donald Trump, the president of United States. This is typically using this kind of way to find the greatness based on superiority. And here we have another video clip.
Am I a bad person? Tell me, am I? I'm single-minded. I'm deceptive. I'm obsessive. I'm selfish. Does that make me a bad person? Am I a bad person? Am I? I have no empathy. I don't respect you. I'm never satisfied. I have an obsession with power. I'm irrational. I have zero remorse. I have no sense of compassion. I'm delusional. I'm maniacal. You think I'm a bad person? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Am I? I think I'm better than everyone else. I want to take what's yours and never give it back. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. Am I a bad person? Tell me, am I? Does that make me a bad person? Tell me, does it?
So, ask yourself, am I like this? The person, this is my personality, is the way you can go to reach your goals. And there is a third way when the greatness is based on yourself. The greatness you have to find inside you. This is personal and is person-centered. These sentences, when you find your greatness inside you, is the human way, and is coming from a Nike campaign. As you can read the sentences, the greatness is no more unique. It's not only for an elite people, but is for everybody. Is like breathing, belongs to everybody. Everybody can reach it. Is for all of us. You just need to find your greatness inside you. To do it, you need help. So you need to find an alliance, because you cannot do it alone. And here we have another clip, the last one, that you discover that no one is self-sufficient. So it is important to create an alliance with, in this case, with the coach. Look at this video clip.
You're not breathing right, that's why you're panting. So it's your birthday, huh? How old does that make you?
I'm 32, Mr. Dunn. And I'm here celebrating the fact that I spent another year scraping dishes and waitressing, which is what I've been doing since 13. And according to you, I'll be 37 before I can even throw a decent punch. Which, after working this feedback for a month and getting nowhere, I now realize may be God's simple truth. Other truth is, my brother's in prison. My sister cheats on welfare by pretending one of her babies is still alive. My daddy's dead, and my mama weighs 312 pounds. If I was thinking straight, I'd go back home, find a used trailer, buy a deep fryer and some Oreos. The problem is, this is the only thing I ever felt good doing. If I'm too old for this, then I got nothing. That enough truth to suit you?
This your speed bag?
But yours behind the counter. Wish I could say I wore it out.
Just hold it. Hold it. I'll show you a few things, and then we'll get you a trainer.
No. Sorry.
You're in a position to negotiate?
Yes, sir. Because I know if you train me right, I'm gonna be a champ. I seen you looking at me.
Yeah, out of pity.
Don't you say that. Don't you say that if it ain't true. I want a trainer. I don't want charity, and I don't want favors. If you're not interested, then I got more celebrating to do.
Stop. God damn it, stop. The hell are you doing? Okay. If I'm gonna take you on...
You won't never regret it.
Look, just listen to me. If I take you on...
I promise I'll work so hard.
God, this is a mistake already.
I'm listening, boss.
If I take you on, you don't say anything. You don't question me. You don't ask why. You don't say anything except maybe, yes, Frankie. And I'm gonna try to forget the fact that you're a girl.
That's all I ask.
And don't come crying to me if you get hurt. All righty.
We got a deal.
No, not quite. I'm gonna teach you how to fight. Then we'll get you a manager and I'm off down the road.
Well, I hate to argue with you, but...
Don't argue with me. That's the only way we're doing it. I teach you all you need to know, and then you go off and you make $1 million. I don't care. You get your teeth knocked out. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it either way. That's just the way it's gonna be. It's the only way I'll do it.
So in this clip, we have a coach and the athlete that meet each other. Now they shake the hand, so they have a mutual agreement. The most important is that you find an alliance with the coach. You are depending from the coach, and the coach is depending from you. It's a collaboration. You start a relationship. And a good alliance don't create depression. So the depression is what? I will never do it. If you have a good relationship with your coach, you will never go to this depression. At the same time, these good relationships doesn't bring you to the narcissism. I'm always right. So the correct way to have an alliance coach and gymnast is to have a balance in this relationship. Now, I would like to you, with the next slide, to analyze your coach, because a good alliance between athlete and coach is also the basis for sport well-being, not only from the gymnast side, also from the coach's side. So, analyze your coach or think which coach you would like to have. Here we have two different kind of coaches. First, both are fine. You just need to understand which kind of coach is in front of you, or which kind of coach you would like to have. There is one group of coaches that is satisfied because they had not a good sporting past, so they are not satisfied about what they did. These are the coaches that want to change things, want to change the world. These are the innovators. They are innovative. They want to create something new because they have this big motivation to the changes. On the other side, we have the lovers, the one that were very happy with their sporting past, and they would like to transmit this passion. And they are the enthusiastic coaches. Depending from your personality, as I said, there is no one group that is bad, but is depending from your personality, which one fit you better. And you should know which coach is in front of you to understand how to deal with her. Now, this, it seems absurd, but at the end, in this alliance, you need to find a coach who believe in your possibilities and believe in your greatness. Since we speak about a relationship, you need also, it seems strange here, to find a way to help the coach helping you. So, what does it mean, alliance? How you can help a coach helping you? If you see all the words in the green part, trust, listening, example, dialogue, are from the both sides, are words that are good for the coach's side, but are okay, correct also from the gymnast side. So the coach asks to be trusted. When they propose something to a gymnast, they would like to be trusted. They would like to be listened. They would like also to provide some example, and we will come later to these parts, and to have a dialogue with you, but from the side of the gymnast is exactly the same. So the gymnast should ask the coach to be trusted. So let trust me, maybe listen to me when I want to try something differently. And this is important to have a briefing and debriefing. Example is not to show, the gymnast doesn't ask to show me a gesture or how to deal with the ball or with the ribbon or to show me an example of combination, but give me an example how to can manage the victories and the defeats. Give me examples, teach me how I can go over injuries and difficulties. And then also there is a mutual dialogue. So let's speak. I can explain how I feel, and the coach also can help me to go over my bad feeling in that moment. So if we go one by one, we are now in this diagram where you see the central corridor is the success. The success is the balance between the boredom and the anxiety. What is the boredom? The boredom is when the gymnast is bored. Why you are bored? Because in the training, you repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat always the same combination, the same routine. And there is a moment when the repetitions are too many and you don't pay any more attention because you become bored. This does not bring to the success because there is a limit, and over that limit, you don't pay any more attention, you don't care anymore about the details, so you are not learning anything else in your skills. Anxiety is when the coach propose you something new that you think is too difficult for you, and this create in you to be anxious. And this also doesn't produce success because your emotions are too much involved and you are too much worried. Remember, I'm not enough to do it. So you try, but really you are not convinced. You are not deeply into the trying of this new skill. And this will not bring you to succeed. And this is important to understand also for you, because it's important for you to understand, but it's important also to express to the coach, because also the coach should know in which area you are, anxiety or boredom, because this will not bring to the goal that both of you are trying to reach. Now, this is briefing and debriefing. So is a proposal. Maybe you can have a reflection about it. The normal way to learn the process is what, how, why. So from trying routines, going to the repetitions, and then this will bring a result. Here the proposal is to learn from the salmons. So the salmons swim against the current. So maybe the proposal is to try in a different way. So starting from the why. So it means that I want to know why I'm doing it. Explain me the meaning of this structure of the training. Explain me the meaning of this loading of the training. And then this means the how. So it means that you, coach, you care the relationship with me. And I'm able to express myself, even trying experiments in this relationship. It's not true that everything is working for everybody, but you need to find your way, starting with the explanation and having a good relationship, an exchange of experience and stories with your coach. So now we are in this manage victories and defeats. Both are difficult. So there is always a tension between victories, so overcoming the limits, and the defeats when you have to accept the limit you had in that moment. Maybe it's incredible for you, but both success and defeat have something positive inside. The success generates energy because you are very happy, you had your gold medal, or at least you reach the goal you propose yourself. And in this moment, you have a lot of energy. You just want to go back to the gym, to try new things, you redefine your goals, you see already your future full of energy, but it's the moment you just do, you don't think. It's a physical, emotional energy. When you don't reach the goal that you expected, this is the moment of reflection, and this is the moment that these generate resources, because is the moment you start to think, you have reflections, you need to find a new way to reach your goals. You can think, okay, what was wrong? What I didn't do well? Maybe the way I try in the training was not correct. Maybe I need to find a different combination to put these elements not at the beginning or not at the end. So combine what was wrong. This is a resource because help you to go to change. Listen, this is important. Everything is important to share with your coaches. But remember, the coach is a coach, is not your friend. Here we are speaking to create a relationship. Especially, I want to remember this slide. This is the basic of your relationship, because there are things that you share. There is an area of sharing. If you see these squares, when the coach know what you think and you gymnast know what the coach think, this sharing part must be developed more and more, because will help to grow up together on the way to the success. But don't mix up the roles. The coach is the coach, is not your friend. Even there is an area, you see the last square right side, where you don't know what the coach is thinking and the coach doesn't know what you are thinking. And this is the part that needed to be explored more together. You cannot mix up the roles. The coach is not your friend, and the relationship is not a friendship. So the only way you can help the coach to help you is to speak, to express, and these are the stories to tell when something unexpected happen, when there are injuries, when you are tired, when you have a pain. You need to explain to the coach, and at the same time the coach can tell you why you need to do one more. This is the basic of the relationship. It's not that the coach only accept, okay, you are tired, now we stop the training. Maybe there are reasons to try one more time. Why not? Or the coach knows you are tired, so okay, let's say we do only one part instead of 10 times the full routine. It's important to create together, to build together the success, because the coaches cannot do without you, and you cannot do without the coach. So the sharing part is very, very important. Now, we go to the pact that you have with the coach. In this case, you see so many boxes, so many squares with sentences that are the basic of the pact. The key word here is respect. You have to respect the coach, and as well, the coach has to respect you. You can read these sentences, some more important than the other, not necessarily that all of them are in your life, but you can find what is missing in your practice, in your sport, in your daily training or daily sport life, and what is already there. So some point you are already there. In some others, you have to improve, probably. Your sport life should improve. I would like to go to the last box. No extreme idolization of coaches or others. The coach is the coach. Respect the coach, but it's not your idol. I hope you can reach the point. And this is related also with one above on top, that the roles are clear and well defined. As I said, the coach is the coach, is not your friend. You create a relationship, but the roles must be very clear. So, here now we have the 10 golden rules of gymnastics. Probably you all know very well, is quite popular, is already few years existing. These 10 golden rules have been created by a group of gymnasts for the gymnast, because FIG thinks that your rights matter. Now, after speaking of all these theoretically, if you really want to change and you want to change your sport life, remember Po the panda not being me anymore, this is your action plan. You take again your paper, your pen, and you work on your improvement action plan. I want to improve. I have a strong willingness to improve. Here, you will do by yourself. You can do now, you can do later, you can do this evening before sleeping, just to have a reflection. But what is important here for you is to understand that the moment you remove something from your sport life or your life, you have to create something, because you remove, it becomes an empty space. So you need to fill this empty space. Or if you want to reduce something, then you see the line crossing, you must increase something. A very simple example. You want to reduce the hours of training. Okay, but you want to reach the goal? You want to reach the goal to be better? So you need to increase the intensity of the training, because the goal is still there waiting for you. So you can play with this diagram, but you need to understand that everything is crossed. So changing one, you need to change also the related one. If you want to create something else, you need to create space. So you need to remove something. Is your work. I really please you to do it this night before sleeping, because it's important that you know yourself. You know what you want in your sport life. And this is the why you can help your coach, because you cannot reach the success alone. You need some help, and this help is an alliance. It's not just somebody telling you do this, do that, because if you don't understand why, you absorb. But at the end, what you absorb? Something that is not rich, doesn't really affect you, doesn't become you. So you don't become a different me. We are at the end of this presentation. I ask you to continue to improve. Remember one slide at the beginning. Improving, changing is for everybody. The greatness is inside of everybody. You just need to discover yours. This is your job. And the coach can help you to discover this greatness. So to continue to improve, in every difficulty, there is an opportunity. Think to it. Remember, defeats give you opportunity to replan, to find other solution, to have a creativity. And if the goal seems unreachable, ask yourself if you are on the wrong path. It means this routine maybe is not exactly for me. I don't feel this music inside. So maybe the goal is still good and I want to reach the goal. Maybe I need to change something. Coach, help me to change something, because I don't feel that I can express well myself. Try differently. And if it seems that nothing is changing, maybe the change already happened and you didn't notice yet, because the changes are not from the night to the morning a dramatic change, like you see the light and you see the dark. The changes are small drop every day. So you cannot notice this small change of the everyday. But on the long distance, on the long time, suddenly one day you realize that a big change is in your life and you didn't notice how to reach there. But it was that day by day something happened and something changed. And you work for that change that you like. We are now back to our panda. I love very much this cartoon, this actually Kung Fu Panda. In this story, when actually he had not a traditional training to reach his goal, the dragon, the master dragon, okay? So he was always hungry. So the way to train him was with the dumpling. And at the end, when he was good enough to reach the dumpling, he said, "I'm not hungry, master." So the change happened. It was hard. It was hard training he had with Master Shifu. But at the end, he reached the goal to be different, to be not me. Of course, he had a strong willingness to change. Now, I'm not hungry, master. I would like you to go to look this cartoon, because there are many wise messages inside. It's not only a cartoon. As I said, I love it. The presentation is finished. I hope you were not bored. It's for you to have a reflection. I'm sure you are thinking, in my life is impossible. In this case, I can say impossible is nothing. So you need to find the way. Thank you very much for listening, and all the best for your not only sport future, but as a future, as a good person. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna, so much. It was really a great pleasure hearing you. I myself learned a lot that we need to learn from our coaches, respect from our coaches, but they are not our friends. So this is very good lesson, and nothing impossible is nothing. So also, and the diagram, I will also start to put it not only in gymnastics, but also in my life work. What I need to change, what I need to reduce, what I need to increase. It's very nice. And I will watch the movie myself. Thank you, Donna, so much. It was a great pleasure learning from the expert and the best. I hope the athletes, you benefited from this small presentation. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to write and ask, and we will be happy to answer you and help you in anything you struggle through. Now we come to the eating healthy and preparation before your major events. We have two major events this year, the Junior World Championships next week, and in 2 months in August is the senior one in Brazil, and the first time to go out of Europe continent or Asia continent and to go to the Americas. This is a great travel for all of us. So thank you, Dr. Peter, for joining us and helping the athletes. I've seen a great transformation for some of the athletes already with you. So we would like them to eat healthy and stay healthy and still practice their beautiful sport.
Thank you very much, dear Noha, and it's always my pleasure to be with you and with the great athletes and the future competitors in a very short time. And let's talk about eating healthy, because nutrition is a very important subject for all elite athletes. Let's say elite athletes because you are going into competitions, so you are somehow different than just amateurs or practitioners. So let's go to our cellular phones and scan our code to be somehow engaged with the presentation. So I'll be asking some questions all through my presentation, and just you will click on the right answer to know how much you are engaged. So I'm waiting for you to enter the presentation. Great. So my question is, sports nutrition, is it different? So let's share the answers. Do you think that sports nutrition is different than regular nutrition for ordinary people? So how much is it different? Yes. So great. So all are saying yes. That's great. This is my bio. I'm not going into it so much, but I'll start with a quote that a diet that's bad for your overall health can be good for your performance. So we have to agree that the diet is one of the main basics with the exercise to help you for a better performance. Nutrition, if you don't eat according to your goals, and now back to Donna's action plan, according to your goals, you have to eat healthy and you have to eat well. If you don't eat well and healthy, don't expect to reach your goals. So for better health, for better performance, for better recovery, and for sustainable eating habits, we are taking care of nutrition. So Let's see that food pyramid. I hope all are seeing this food pyramid. This is the regular food pyramid we are all eating in our daily life. So the base of our pyramid for our nutrition is usually the carbs, the wheat, the bread, the cereals. Everything is going through wheat. But the second tier would be the fruits and vegetables. And the third tier would be the proteins, which consists of 20% of our daily intake. And the tip of the food pyramid would be the fats, oils, and sugar. I mean, the desserts and the confectionery things we always like. So for the senior athletes, maybe they are taking a very good focus on don't eat too much refined sugar, don't eat too much fats and oils. But for the junior athletes, we need to recreate, we need to eat something different. So let's say the base of our food should be the carbs, then the fruits and vegetables, then the proteins, and the tip of the pyramid will be the oil, fat, and sugar. But especially for the elite athletes, we are thinking in a different way. We are thinking that the base of our pyramid should be the high quality whole food. That's to say that when I'm eating, for example, proteins, I go for a whole protein like meat, chicken, eggs, as it is. I'll not go for processed meat. I'll not go for ultra processed food. When I'm telling about the carbs, I'm not telling about the pastas thing and the croissant and the bakeries and that things because it's processed. But the base of my food pyramid as an elite athlete should be the whole food, the high quality food. Then the second tier will go for the micronutrients, which I mean the vitamins and minerals always in our food, like what's in the fruits and vegetables. Then the timing of eating, the timing of the meals is very important. Then the sports fuel, I'm not here talking about the commercial sports fuel. I'm talking about a sports drink which is homemade, which I know what's in. And the tip of the pyramid. Do I need supplements? Do I need some supplementations or not? And this is the tip of the pyramid, so it's the least percentage we will be talking about. The macronutrients. So our macronutrients, which is consisting of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, but for sure, the hydration, the water. So let's say the water is one of the macronutrients our body as an athlete needs, while the micronutrients would be the vitamins and the minerals. So let's go deeper. And when we are talking about the carbs, proteins, and fats, we are talking about energy. We all need energy in our exercise, in our competition. So we need the whole macronutrients, the carbs, the proteins, and fats. But maybe for our growth, for our maintenance, for better performance, for better recovery, for the prevention of injuries, we need proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. And for the regulation of all our body process, we need all. Let's go for the carbs and back to the Mentimeter. Let's go for the next slide. What do you think? Carbs are the beauty or the beast? It's the same QR code. So do you think carbs is the beauty or is it the beast? So we are now going equal. And now it's the beast is going up. It's going equal again. Okay. So let's wait and see. So it's half and half. Okay, that's great. So half of our attendees, for our athletes, seeing the carbs as the devil, the beast, and others, the other half, are seeing the carbs as the beauty, something nice, something good for our bodies. Let's explore and see, is it the beauty or the beast? So carbs, when I'm talking about carbs, I'm talking about vegetables, I'm talking about fruits, I'm talking about legumes, so it's the beans, the lentils, and etc. And I'm talking also about the wheat. So carbs are present in all of that. So carbs are not only the bread, but carbs are present in the vegetables, fruits, legumes, and also the bread. But don't forget that carbs are also there in dairy products. So milk, yogurt, cheese all contains carbs because of the lactose. It's part of the sugar. Our sugar in the dairy products named lactose, and it's carbs. So the dairy products contains carbs, proteins, and fats. It's a whole meal, but it's one source of carbohydrates. So the carbs actually are not the problem. The real problem would be the glycemic index. So let's go deeper for the glycemic index because this is very important. And this is how we can differentiate between the carbs, which is the beast, and the carbs, which is the beauty. So the glycemic index, when the scientists took 50 grams of glucose, which is the sugar, and gave it to the person, so that glucose is coming in our blood, stimulating the pancreas to get insulin hormone to just hold the glucose and go to the cells to produce energy. So what we are eating that cause the sugar to go higher very quickly and the insulin higher very quickly would be named as high glycemic index. What's causing slower glucose to be raised in the blood and slower insulin to raise in the blood will be named as low glycemic index. So how to differentiate between both? We as athletes need in general, as the normal population, as the ordinary people, we are always in need for medium to low glycemic index carbs. But actually, what's different that for me as an athlete, I need during and immediately after the exercise or the competition, I need high glycemic food. Why? Because our main fuel for the exercise is actually carbs. Yes, I'm talking seriously. So the main fuel for us as athletes in the exercise and the competitions is carbohydrates. Why? Because the carbs are stored in our body, in the muscles and the liver as something named glycogen. While we are exercising, these glycogen stores are depleting. So I have to fuel them back. I have to increase that carbs during and immediately after exercise to just fuel up my glycogen stores back. I hope this is very clear because this is very important. Regarding the fibers, do we need fibers or we don't need it? Actually, we have two types of fibers. We have the soluble fibers and the insoluble fibers. And to get very healthy gut, and in order to prevent any bloating, gases, irritations, we need both. We need the soluble and the insoluble fibers. Let me give you an example for an apple, for example. The apple, for example, the inside of the apple is soluble fiber named pectin, while the peel outside is insoluble fibers. So my gut needs both, needs the soluble and insoluble. So what do you think? Should I eat the whole apple or just peel it and eat it? I should eat it as it is, the whole high quality fruit. Great. So the high fibers should not be completely avoided. Why? Because the high fibers, the insoluble fibers, will help me to keep my shape, to keep my weight, to keep my body slim, which I need as a gymnastic. But in other words, fibrous food just before the exercise or the competition may cause bloating, may cause discomfort in the gut. So take care. Eat fibers, eat insoluble fibers to keep your weight good. But don't eat it just before the exercise or competition, or during, or immediately after. Okay? I hope also this is very clear because this is very important part. Okay, so carbs, the refined carbs, the bakeries, the desserts are conditionally bad, which I mean it's not bad all the way, but it will cause some weight gain, let's say, if it's not that much counted in my diet. But refined carbs like the pasta is very good after exercise, immediately after exercise, because it's refined carbs, it's high glycemic index, it will cause my glycogen stores to be refueled quickly. So pasta is okay, but maybe immediately after the exercise or the competition. But if you are not exercising, if it's off season now, don't eat too much refined carbs because it will cause weight gain. So I'm not fit for my weight and body to play this competition. So refined carbs may be taken just before, during, or immediately after the exercise. It's not all over bad. It's not the beast all the time, but maybe it will be the beast if I'm off season, or if I'm not exercising, or if I'm injured and I'm prohibited to exercise for some time. But it's the beauty if I'm consuming it around the exercise and the competition. So let's go for our Mentimeter once more. So are carbs important for athletes? What do you think? Let's solve it once more. So it's definitely yes, or not sure, or absolutely no. Is it important for you as an athlete? So we are going the majority with definitely yes. And the answer actually is yes. It's very important for us as athletes. So if you are cutting carbs, you are cutting your performance. You are doing the performance suicide. So the carbs are the master fuel for all sports, not only gymnastics, but all sports. Let's see in summary, the carbs should be eaten before, during, after exercise. The challenge is to choose the best source and to eat it in the right timing. So pre-exercise, before the exercise, I can take 1 to 4 grams of carbs per kilogram. So if your weight is 60, for example, kilograms, so I should eat from 60 to 240 grams of carbs 4 hours before the event or the exercise or the competition of low glycemic index. Avoid fats, avoid high protein, avoid high fibers to get good gut and in order to prevent the bloating. These are examples for the pre-exercise meals. So if I'm eating 4 hours before exercise, I can get a sandwich wrap with some protein. I can get chicken, rice, and salad. I can get mixed beans. I can get chicken and vegetables. But if I'm very close to the exercise, if I'm having a competition at 7 a.m. and I'll be wake up at 5 a.m. and I have to grab something very quickly, and it's just 1 or 2 hours before the exercise, I'll go for carbs of high glycemic index with low protein and skimmed fats. So I'll go for fresh fruits with no fats and very low protein. I'll go for smoothies. I'll go for yogurt, skimmed or light yogurt. I'll go for shakes like the homemade shakes, or I'll go for energy bars or nutrition bars, maybe cereal bars or granola. These are all an example for refined carbs, which will replenish my fuel, my glycogen stores quickly just before the exercise or competition 1 to 2 hours. During the exercise, it's not recommended to eat at all. So if we are getting carbs, we will get it in the form of sports drink only. This is the only allowed thing, and I'll get it later. After exercise, we'll get the carbs. We'll have to add like 20 grams of protein. So I can get like the pasta with minced meat, or I can get, for example, beans or some legumes with some bread and salad. So it's a whole meal with carbs, proteins, and still not too much fat. It's in the window of opportunity, like 30 minutes after exercise, or somehow we can extend it to 1 hour after exercise. So after exercise examples, it could be like cereals and milk. It could be fruits and non-fat yogurt. It could be the chocolate milk, low-fat chocolate milk. And this is the favorite for most of the athletes, to get chocolate milk or low-fat chocolate milk immediately after the exercise. So getting to the proteins, which is the favorite macronutrient for all athletes, we are getting relieved when we are eating proteins, even if it's somehow more than the allowed quantity, because we have the taboo in our minds that proteins are always good. Let's see. Proteins, not always good if it's more than our requirements. So researchers are telling us there are no added advantage if you are eating more than 2.5 grams per kilogram of your weight per day. So if my weight is 60 kilograms, for example, I should take from 1.2 to 2 grams per day for every kilogram of my weight. So I have the limit, the maximum limit of 120 grams of proteins per day. So it's not always that much beneficial. Proteins are always taken either 4 hours before exercise, or in the window of opportunity, the 1 hour after exercise, or in your main meals apart from the exercise. The milk and the low-fat chocolate milk, as we said from a couple of minutes, it's the best for all the athletes. But if you have lactose intolerance, or for example, you have some bloating or gases from dairy products, eggs would be very nice option for having proteins just after the exercise. And for the third macronutrient, which is the fats, I have to ask another question. So let's go for the Mentimeter one more time. Are fats important for athletes? Let's go for the same Mentimeter. So I'm not sure, yes or no. Please choose one answer. The majority are saying yes, but some are saying not sure. Let's go deep and see. So we need fats. We need around 30% of our total daily calories as athletes from the fats. But take care. Below 10% of those 30 should be from the saturated fats. Saturated fats, I'm talking about the butter, I'm talking about the fats in the milk, in the proteins like the fats in the chicken, meat, the fats in eggs, and etc. So we don't have this somehow high. So how can I get the 30%? I'll get it from healthy fats. I'll get it from the raw nuts. I'll get it from olive oil, olives, avocado, for example. So to get the exact amount of fats my body needs, I should take from 0.5 to 1 gram per kilogram. So if your weight is 60 kilograms, you should take from 30 to 60 grams of fats, of healthy fats per day. And as I mentioned, we have to take the low-fat food before exercise, and we can take somehow low to moderate fat immediately after the exercise. So let's summarize our macronutrients. So pre-exercise, just before the exercise, if it's before the exercise by 4 hours, I can get proteins. If it's 1 to 2 hours, I'll get only carbs with very minimal amount of proteins and no need for any fats before the exercise. During the exercise, I don't need any fats, I don't need any proteins, I just need carbs in the form of the homemade sports drink, and I'll get into how to make it later, just in a couple of minutes. Post-exercise, in the hour, the window of opportunity I have after exercise, I should get proteins, 20 grams of proteins, I should get carbs, and I can get small, low to moderate fats. Micronutrients, which is the vitamins and minerals, I'll go for the B complex. It's very important. B complex is very important for the athletes because if you are experiencing like some nerve issues, when you are standing still for long times, you get somehow some shivering in your muscles. Mostly you have problem in vitamin B complex, especially vitamin B12. So we have to monitor, assess, and maybe supplement as the case by case. Also, if we are seeing the magnesium, chromium, and iron, we have female athletes. Many of you are experiencing the menstrual cycle, the periods. So definitely, maybe more than a small percentage may be experiencing iron deficiency anemia. So with iron deficiency anemia, we have to supplement with iron. Otherwise, you will feel fatigue, you will get high heart rate, you will get like laziness and lack of energy. Magnesium is very important for your muscles. Chromium is very important because it's the mineral which my body is using to hold the insulin with the glucose to put it in the cells to get energy. Vitamin D and calcium are very important for your bone health. So if you are experiencing lots of injuries in your tendons, in your bones, please check your vitamin D levels and check your ionized calcium levels because it will indicate your bone health. And maybe at that time we can assess and supplement. Also, be aware of vitamin C, E, and zinc for immunity. You will be traveling to different areas of the continents and you will be sharing experiences with different athletes and gymnastics from every culture and country. So if you don't have that solid immunity, you will get lots of infections, maybe from the food of the country, maybe from the water of the country, maybe from the exposure to other people all around. So be aware, focus on your immunity and antioxidants, vitamin C, E, and zinc. The American College of Sports Medicine had stated that we don't need any vitamin or mineral supplementation or multivitamins as long as we are consuming all our energy and all our food perfectly. But if you are eliminating somehow some food because of maybe bloating, some medical issues, or maybe you want to lose some weight, so you are cutting somehow some ingredients from your diet. So I have to supplement your body with multivitamins or multiminerals or maybe single nutrient if you have some deficiency. But take care, because we will be talking about the WADA and the doping thing. So this should be under medical supervision and with supplementations known to be of good quality, and it's not adulterated with any doping agents. So take care for the doping. The last thing I'll be talking about is hydration. Why is it important? Because more than 70% of our bodies are made of water. Let's see. So our hearts, kidneys, bones, liver, brain, eye, muscles, blood, lung are all made of water. So good hydration means good health and good body. Let's see on the right side the urine color indicator. So if your urine is one of the 3 colors above, you are good, you are taking good amount of water. But if your urine color is the 3 colors below, you have a real problem in your hydration. Please take from 5 to 7 milliliters per kg. So if you are like 60 kilograms, you should take like 300 milliliters of water at least 4 hours before exercise, and drinking around 1 liter through the exercise of 1 hour. Let's go for the homemade sports drink. It's very easy, and I'm encouraging all of you to do it in the home, and it's very nice and tasty. So get 200 milliliters of orange squash. Just remove the fibers of it, like with a net or something, and complete this 200 milliliters to 1 liter with water, and just put a pinch of salt. It's like 1 gram of salt on it, and just shake, and it's the homemade sports drink with no unknown ingredients. It's very easy, it's isotonic, it will fuel yourself with water and also with minerals, and of course vitamin C for the immunity from the orange. So the hydration would be before the exercise or competition. Our first choice is water, no sodas, no juices, avoid coffee, avoid carbonated drinks. During the exercise or competition, especially if we have 1 complete whole hour of intensive exercise, please drink 1 liter all through this hour. So every 15 minutes, you should drink around 250 milliliters. And after the exercise, we will get the low-fat chocolate milk, giving us carbs, proteins, and also hydration. And now, I don't think that we have that much time for questions, but please go for the last Mentimeter slide and answer. How can you rate this session? Is it knowledgeable, applicable, and interesting? So go for the Mentimeter and answer the last question. And hopefully it's something with some practical tips so we can use it in our exercise. My take-home message, let's say, my conclusion or summary is carbs is very important fuel. Don't neglect hydration and water. Please take your proteins in a moderate amount, and keep your fats like 5% of your calories. And thank you very much for your attendance and active listening.
Thank you, Dr. Peter, so much. I love the presentation. It was very interesting because they now know that they can take the carbs in vegetables and in many other ways in fruits, and do not go for the pasta, as he said so much, but it's not so bad. But if you're not training so hard, it will make you gain the weight. So yes, you can take it, and drink a lot of water. Water is very important for your body. And so thank you very much. And if they have questions, they can send anytime, and I will forward the questions. And we can leave your contacts with the office, and we can put it with the presentation online so they can reach you directly for any questions they have. As we are running out of time, Dora, we don't want to keep you long. So Dora, welcome. Thank you for taking this and being close to the athletes. And sharing your knowledge as part being an athlete. So please, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Noha. Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to see a lot of gymnasts and as well as coaches attending this webinar. And hopefully you get some, well, we already know you get some really important information. Let me share my screen. Okay, so perfect. I try to be brief and a little bit more practical and engaged. Let's see how it will work. So we all know that the topic of anti-doping is really complex. It's very difficult to understand for the athletes and then coaches and all athlete support personnel, but I will try to share the most important informations you need to know before a competition or during your athlete career. So today work plan is we are going to start with a warm-up, then a few words about me and my background. Then I will talk about WADA, what we are exactly doing. Then we go to the testing procedures, anti-doping rule violations, prohibited list just a little bit, then supplements, which might be very important for you nowadays, and a little bit of unintentional doping where you can break the rules unintentionally, you can test positive or in any other ways, just to mention. Let me start with a scenario, and it's a real case actually running. We are talking about a very experienced Olympic athlete. She got a sunburned lips on a training camp and obviously directly contacted her team doctor and asked for a treatment. The team doctor bought this medication, which you can see on the screen, in the pharmacy. Gave it to the athlete without checking the label. And the athlete did not check either what she's going to put on her lips. So what happened after? The athlete tested positive for a substance. You can see the clostebol, which is prohibited at all times. It's very important to know. You will see that there are substances which are prohibited only on competition or at all time. So what do you think what happened? The athlete was not sanctioned. The athlete was given a public warning. The athlete was banned from all sport for 3 months or for 2 years, so like 18 months. And unfortunately, that's the last one. So you can see how serious WADA is taking this, even if it was not really her mistake. And why I was sharing with you that as an athlete, you have to be conscious that the strict liability principle applies to you. What does it mean? The athlete is the only one responsible for everything they use and that is found in their body, regardless of whether there was intention to cheat or not. So you might feel uncomfortable or you don't really think that it's fair, but honestly, you are the last one and the only one who's responsible, and you have to check everything, at least medication, and you really have to do everything as you just can to be on a safe place. Few words about me, and as Noah mentioned, I was an athlete. I used to compete in aerobic gymnastics for so many years. I was a world and European champion as well, silver and bronze medalist on the World Games. After my retirement in sport, I started to work as an athlete's representative in FIG, in the Gymnastics Federation, and I was there for 8 years, so my mandate is over now. And it was a good transition from FIG to the WADA Athlete Council. I got successfully elected as one of the member, and also sitting as an athlete's voice in the education committee. Beside that, I try to educate the athletes. I try to use my knowledge and, of course, my experience and the knowledge what is already set by the rules to raise awareness and help for the athletes, because it's always something different if an athlete is telling to the athletes, we all went through the same way, the same thing, and it's really important to help each other. Just few words about the history of WADA, because I got the question so many times like, WADA was knocking on my door and you came to test us. Actually, WADA is not really testing. If you see, WADA is the global regulator of anti-doping, leading a collaborative worldwide movement for doping-free sport, develop and harmonize and coordinate anti-doping rules and policies across all sport and country. So the main word is harmonization, and like WADA is more like we are writing the rules, and that's why the first code, like WADA Code of Points, was developed in 2003. And the reason why WADA was born is that one big scandal in '98, the Festina scandal in cycling. And then IOC felt like the field of sport has to take some actions. And that's how the Lausanne Declaration on Doping in Sport came. And that's how WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, was born. The headquarters was originally in Lausanne, and then in 2022, they moved to Canada, to Montreal. What I also would like to mention is WADA is a totally athlete-centered organization. It's not just like a clique, okay? We have this, like we had athlete engagement, but actually they really care about our voice and the feedbacks of the athletes, because you are still the one who's are suffering of the consequences, or you're still the one experiencing the things on the other side. And as you can see, WADA Athlete Council members, including mine as well, including me as well, in many standing committees, we are sitting, helping to get these connections between committees, such as education, contamination working group, in an unintentional task force. So it's like a huge organization. Then frequent consultations with the athletes, such as code review process. Now the new Code of Points is coming up. Also, we have so many surveys where we would like to know your experience and feedbacks about several things. And then, which you might, who was at the Olympic Games, you might meet with us and also with me, because I was wondering if I can ask myself on that turn when gymnastics, when rhythmic gymnastics is on, so I can see you all, and I was really happy because also so many rhythmic gymnasts visited our booth or was around. So we are also there as an engagement team on the major events. WADA's biggest mission now, that we would like to educate from playground to podium. And that's why today I'm also here, because there are many junior athletes might have the first experience with anti-doping, or you will have your first test on the next week, who knows. So the athlete first experience with anti-doping should be through education rather than doping control. Then it would be great to see all of you on the screen with a waving your hand. But my question is that have you ever been tested? And I assume as I check the names, there are a lot of young athletes still who might not be tested ever. So I have a short clip to show you how is it going. Which is really important to know for the athletes that during the doping control, you have responsibilities, but you also have rights. Let's go into them. So your responsibility is report for testing immediately once notified. Show valid identification, such as passport, ID, or a copy of them. Remain in direct sign of the doping control officer or chaperone. Comply with the sample collection procedure. And then about your rights, because that's something which you might don't know, like all. Have a representative with you, like you're also able to have it when you're a senior athlete, but as a minor athlete under 18, it's compulsory to have a representative with you during doping control. Request an interpreter if available, if language is a problem. Ask for chaperones or DCO, doping control officer's identification, just to be sure he or she really exists. Ask any questions. Request special assistance or modification for valid reason. Record any comments or concerns on the form. Or request a delay for valid reasons. Let's see what reasons you can request for a delay. Attending a victory ceremony, finishing a training session or competing in further events, receiving necessary medical attention, fulfilling media commitment, or warming down. Let's move into anti-doping rule violations. Okay, there you can see a lot of words, but I'm going to be brief. The most important to know is that you can break the rules in so many ways, unfortunately. That's not just testing positive or not be there in a certain time. Okay, but there are unfortunately 11 ways to break the rules. The first four, what you can see on the screen, applies only to the athletes. And then the from 5 to 11 also applies to the athletes plus athlete support personnel, coaches, medicals, anybody else around the athlete. Just to make it more understandable, I brought you a clip.
The Sport Integrity Commission presents the anti-doping rule violations, starring these guys. Oh, no, careful. He's got it. Oh, he's dropped it. Also starring this guy. All right, let's begin. There can be no presence of a prohibited substance or its metabolites or markers in an athlete's sample. You cannot use or attempt to use a prohibited substance or method. You cannot evade doping control, hide from them, or refuse to provide a sample. Registered testing pool athletes, you need to be where you say you will be so the testers can find you. Athletes or any other person cannot tamper with any part of the doping control process. You can't have a prohibited substance or method in your possession. You can't sell or provide a prohibited substance or method to other people. You can't administer or attempt to administer a prohibited substance or method. You can't hide, help, or attempt to cover up a doping violation. You can't knowingly associate in a sporting capacity with someone who has been banned from sport due to an anti-doping rule violation. You cannot discourage or retaliate against somebody for reporting suspicious behavior. So there you go. Don't play with your health or reputation. Play the game. Oh, he's caught it this time. Oh no, he's dropped it again. Nice smile though.
I'm just receiving positive feedback and they cannot believe that the girl tested positive from a cream on her lips and they cannot
Yeah,
believe. And they
actually,
said,
and
no way.
yeah.
And they were freaking out. And it's a good example that you posted for them to see that they have to check.
Yes, unfortunately, we have more and more cases, and as the laboratories are getting better, so that's why, like those cases are just coming up, and we need to be aware, which also creates an anxiety. But on the other hand, if we can manage, then also at WADA side, if they can manage, it will be fine. Okay, I jump the video. You can check the ADRVs because if it's heavy, then everything will be freezed again.
Okay.
I'm going to move to the prohibited list, which might be familiar for you, all the athletes. At least you heard about it once. This includes substances and methods that are prohibited in sport. And as I mentioned before, when? Prohibited at all times, so don't take it at all. Or prohibited only during in competition. So only in competition period you cannot take them. Or prohibited only in particular sports such as beta blockers in shooting, which like calm you down and the heart rates and everything. And athletes must know that the prohibited list updated at least annually. So every year check again and again and again after 1st of January, because there are always some small changes, so it's better to be aware. Here is the QR code for the prohibited list, but also it's very easy to find if you just put into Google. Check all the medication before you use. I'm sure you also heard about this sentence so many times. How we can check, which is the kind of best way. Ask a doctor or pharmacist who is familiar with the prohibited list, not the one in the very beginning. Okay? Check with your national anti-doping organization if you have. Use a reliable online resources such as Global Draw. And I love Global Draw because it's quite easy. And we will check it together on the next slide, okay? The athlete is 100% responsible for everything they use and that is found in their body. Don't forget it, please. As I mentioned before, let's try to do it together, okay? You can see a QR code if you have your phone with you. If not, then please start to type. You can go to globaldraw.com. And there you can select, obviously, that you're an athlete or coach. You can select the sport gymnastics. And just to be the easiest way, now select United States as your country. Because there are some others, and if you put others, then it goes to your own national anti-doping organization, which might be different what we need now. Okay, if you have Global Draw, you can see two very, very, very similar products. Okay? My question is, which one would you use on a competition day? Which is the first thing you check if you have these two next to each other, for example? Okay, you start to check the label, okay, the ingredients, the substances inside. Lev-methamphetamine or menthol. Okay, please start to type this really long substance into Global Draw. As well as you can check menthol as well. Okay, at Global Draw, it's quite easy because the moment you start to type and you have the first 3, 4, 5 letters, then it automatically shows you the options. I just hope somebody is doing. Okay, and then what you can see in Global Draw is like this. Very clear pictures. Okay, the thing I want to mention that what does in competition means. Okay, the period commencing at 11:59 p.m. local time on the day before a competition in which the athlete is scheduled to participate through the end of such a competition and the sample collection process related to such a competition. Okay, so the first product is prohibited in competition. You can use it out of competition, but also count on the time which the substances still can be in your body. The other one also, it seems okay, menthol, not so dangerous, not prohibited and not prohibited at all times. So if we go back to the pictures, which one about the decision making, which one you would use on a competition day? Obviously, the second one. In case you need a medication or a treatment which is on the prohibited list, the substance is on the prohibited list, you can always apply for therapeutic use exemptions called TUE. This is also with valid reason, and if strict conditions are met, which gives them a permission to use it within the context of sport regulations. Okay, you can apply to ITA, that's the QR code. If you really need a medication for asthma, for any injuries, like quickly you got injured, the doctor is thinking about steroids, then you check the substance, but it's really needed, then this is the process you have to follow. The TUE process avoid risk of sanctions due a positive test, okay? But don't play with TUE. Then I jump into the supplement use. Okay, I was an athlete coming from a aesthetic sport. We all know in the past this positive image and safeguarding we didn't really have. So let's be fair, the past is not so bright, but the future will be so much better if we educate people like this during this webinar. Okay, so gymnasts, especially in gymnastics and every artistic aesthetic sport, are very vulnerable of supplement use. Scale is our best friend, as I had to check every time. Then we were always on a diet or not eating enough, not eating well. You can always, people were telling, okay, you have to be slim, but at the same time you have to be strong. So it's also very difficult to find the balance. Lack of professional nutritionists. I'm coming from an Olympic sport, which is even more sensitive because we don't have financial support. So basically, no nutritionists. So there are many athletes like this, and I'm sure also in other disciplines they are facing the same problem. Replace food with supplements like I cannot eat my dinner, but I'm still really hungry. So I replace my meal with supplements. And we have to mention also the market is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and everybody is on social media, like all the influencers are pushing and advertising a lot of supplements. So those are that's my personal experience from the past. Okay, when I was competing, which was like 10 years ago almost. I admit, especially that now I know all the things, that I was a potential risk in the anti-doping system because I was not enough careful with the supplement use. That's why early education of these things are super important. So what can be the risk of supplements? Contamination or mislabeling. Contamination is that by mistake, some prohibited substance end up in the container. And mislabeling is that, like, for example, they don't really show the prohibited substance on the label. So inadvertent ingestion of prohibited substance, as well as they can have health risk. Testing of supplements has shown some to contain heavy metals or toxics. Okay. Just to remember again, no supplements are 100% risk-free. But how to do it well? You already heard about it, okay? Dr. Peter was like perfect explaining everything. So consider a food first approach is really important to navigate in this complex system. And how we can manage the supplement risk if you really need to take supplements and to reduce the risk, how we can do that, okay? The athlete receives expert advice based on their individual needs. So visit a nutritionist, working with a doctor, they exactly know what she needs. Please be careful and do that. The supplement is taken in the right dosage, or the supplement has good evidence of benefit to health and or performance, okay? I don't take something just because it's fashionable. It's when you really need it, Then with the consultation of ASPs, you can do it, I would not say risk-free, but still with the lower risk. Okay? And if you have a chance, always try to purchase batch tested products. There are also several websites where you can check your supplements. It's still not perfect because there are lots of supplements, so it's impossible to regulate at this moment the system. But let's see, maybe in 10 years it will be better. Practical advice from me. Get informed and use reliable sources, such as the website, the batch tested website. If you do not have any access to certificate nutritionist, conduct a self-assessment. You can check everything on the label. If you decide that the benefits of using supplements outweigh the risk, choose products that have been tested. Keep the original supplement packaging or a photo of it, okay? Like at least the number of the supplement, because in case you test positive, it can help you a lot to prove that you didn't take that supplement. It was by mistake in your protein powder, for example. Okay, so at least to know which like under which number it was, or if you purchase like two from the same at the same time, it's even better. For example, one you eat and the other one just stay in case. And one other very important thing is that always mention supplement taken on the doping control form. Okay, on the doping control form, there is like a bracket where you can write down what did you take in the last 2 weeks, I guess. But it's better if you mention everything. Then our last topic for today, I mentioned the unintentional doping, how big deal is like nowadays. And now we are talking about many different topics such as contamination, whereabout failure, like partners contact. You might heard a lot of stories like skin to skin contact. Even you can test positive by like skin to skin contact. For example, if you kiss somebody who took prohibited substance. So the risks are real, and unintentional doping remains a significant challenge in the protection of clean sport. And that's why WADA is taking the time, money, and everything, resources to help, to navigate, and to find a solution how we can reuse all these cases. Because of that, we set up a call for contribution. You can see the QR code. You can see the QR code on a screen. And I would kindly ask you to fill up this survey. Okay, you can find it in many different languages, like at least 5. If you go and then you scroll down a little bit, and then it says like tell your own experience. There is a survey appears with the survey monkey, and it's like 5 minutes. Okay, so after the presentation, I would really appreciate if you could help for us, and that's how we can start really working from the athletes' feedback, from the reality. What they can face or what they experienced. If you have any questions, but maybe better, like you can see all of my email, WhatsApp, Instagram. I'm a really open person. You will never disturb me in any questions about anti-doping matters. Okay, so feel free if you feel like lost in the system, just drop me a message on Instagram or wherever. And it was a pleasure to be here and sharing a little bit of this complex system for the athletes. And good luck. That's the most important.
Thank you, Dora, very much. It was really a very interesting presentation. And I learned myself, and I searched with you on the globaldraw.com as a parent, as an athlete, as a coach. And it's very interesting. And I wanted to ask you, do they have updated every year so the gymnast can know?
Yes.
Do they updated with the WADA substances
Yes.
every year, as you said, January? So
Yes, 1st of January, they always update.
on the globaldraw.com, whenever they're afraid, they can check quickly. So it is updated. So
Yes,
girls,
yes, must be.
you can be very appreciative for this information that Dora shared with us. This is very, really helpful for you. You can always share and not to be tested positive like the burnt girl athlete with the sunburn from the doctor. So you can search whenever you are doubting. I could also see many senior and junior athletes who are taking part, because I know some of the names and some of them whom you shared their photos with you. So I think they also were here, and thank you very much for joining us. It's really very interesting information. And thank you for Donna, for Dr. Peter, for Dora, for this webinar. It was a very, very, very informative, educative webinar for everyone. And we hope we repeat it again by the end of the year for the coaches, because also the coaches need to receive the same information. But first we started by our young generation, our athletes who are our main goal. And we need to come together because of the ways to learn. Because as Dora said, when we were playing, it was different. We did not receive such kind of education. Time evolves, social media evolves, technology evolves, and so we must do also with you. And you are our future, and we work for you. Thank you so much for such a beneficial webinar, and see you soon in your future endeavors and competitions. Thank you, and have a lovely day.